this is another in the professional photographer series. This time I'm interviewing Kim Spies. She's a professional photographer here in Lompoc, California.
Hello, I'm Kim Spies and welcome to my studio.
Can you tell us about being a professional photographer?
Okay, well I actually love being a professional photographer. I started in high school took a class and absolutely fell in love with it. So I took 2 years in high school and then I was Mr. Ratcliffe's assistant. Okay, so there was a lot of years that I just did it as a hobby, just for fun. And I really didn't intend to start a business, but because of Facebook, it kind of just took off. I took some pictures of my best girlfriends. She has some twins and kind of went viral. And then after that, I did actually this picture right up here, the one on top. She was an aspiring model and needed a portfolio, so for fun we did that, and someone in Santa Barbara accidentally, I should say, saw that and wanted me to do her business card, and she was doing a CD, so she wanted that. And after that it was like everyone, because of Facebook, saw it and just took off. So I started out in my home and it was just people call me up, friends, whatever, and then decided that it was really hard because I had to rearrange furniture and all that stuff, so I decided just to go ahead and get the studio. It's the best thing I ever did. Love having my studio. Makes me, I just feel more comfortable doing brides and bringing them into the studio, or any client for that matter.
Talking about your studio, it's rather unique. This is the third studio I've been in, and so far they've all been very, very dark and they've got a lot of artificial light. So can you tell me kind of your motivations and what you're trying to accomplish with this style of studio?
Okay, so this is where I do most of my shooting, and I chose this location because of all the lights. I did a lot with, flash photography and everything, but my boyfriend who went to Brooks taught me how to use natural light, use a reflector. So I use the existing light and I use reflectors so that I can bounce the light back onto my subject and control the light that way versus having, big lights. Now, there's advantages and disadvantages to that, and the biggest disadvantage is that you have to rely on the light. So if it's raining outside or if it's dark, then it does cause a problem for me. But I do use every once in a while. I've used a lot of different, things for flashes, and this is, I think, Gary Fong, and it's great because it really makes the light very natural. No, as far as no harsh highlights and all that. So I do use this every once in a while, like for weddings. Sometimes it's indoors, so you don't have that natural light. But I do prefer outdoors, indoors, using natural light and not to use a whole lot of artificial. So I kind of have to change things around sometimes depending on what time of day it is. I like to shoot early in the morning because if I have sun coming through here that's very, very harsh, then I've got to change things around. So again, that's a little bit of a disadvantage, where if you had a studio with natural light, you come in and everything's set up and you're ready to go. You don't have to worry about that. So even though it does present the challenges, I like the way that it looks, especially with babies, because I know a lot of people do the high key. That's why you want to use the lights. But with babies, you want more of an even, what they call the one-to-one ratio. You don't want those, harsh, dramatic lighting. So I have a lot of backdrops that I use. My area probably here too is a lot smaller than probably what you have seen in the other studios, because I do little people.
Well, that's great. Tell us about the cameras that you use.
It's a preference. I used to shoot Canons. I think that they're great. They're both really great cameras. I am now doing Nikon because I feel that for portraits it's a better camera. The Canons are a little faster, so for sports, my boyfriend shoots Canon, he loves Canon, and they work better for him. This is my go-to lens. It's probably the lens that I use, not probably, it is the lens I use all the time for my portraits. And that's because it's a very fast lens, so with natural light, it's a lot more expensive to get a lens that is fast. It's 1.2, but it works for me, and I love the bouquet. I love everything about the lens. If you were going to do something that was maybe a little less costly, the 50 millimeter would work just as well. And then this is a D600, and this one right here is my older camera. It's my very first one that I got. It's a D200, and it has a zoom on here, and I primarily use this for weddings when I need to get a close-up shot. So this is my older camera, is my backup camera. When you're shooting weddings, you have to have backup equipment. And so this is the one. I don't use this camera a whole lot. This is, of course, the one that I use every time I do anything for the most part.
All photographers have a specialty. What would you say your specialty is?
Okay, so as far as my specialty, if I had to just choose one, it would definitely be babies. If you look around, my studio is very kid-oriented. I started out, these are some of the ones that I started out with. This one right here, I've actually won an award on. People, they're like, oh, you're the one that did the bear picture. I love bears, I love babies. So, as you can see, that just by looking around. This one right here was another one that I got an award for. And just again, it's just, that's the thing that I really, really love. So I did have to choose. I took a class as far as choosing something I specialized in, and you know, it was like someone just said, you specialize in real life. And so that's basically what I am, a real life photographer. I like the whole candid. I don't like the posed pictures. I have a more photojournalistic approach. So, and I think that my pictures kind of represent that. I started out, this was just a hobby. This was an award I got at the Santa Barbara County Fair, the Minetti Award, which is the top award. I was very, very excited about that. And that was, again, when I was just using photography for fun. So weddings, I didn't think I wanted to do weddings, but as I said, my boyfriend went to Brooks and he has done weddings. I did a few weddings. And so we do them together. And because of the fact that I do them with someone else, it's not as, you know, scary as far as if you don't catch that shot or whatever. And I found that because that day is just so fun and full of love and everybody's just happy that I really, really love them. Seniors, I love doing seniors. So I guess I just really love doing all of it.
So you do babies, you do weddings, and of course something that's very important to my students is that you do senior portraits. So can you tell us what's the experience that my students will get if they come to you to get their senior portraits done?
Okay, so I found that I really love working with seniors. They're a lot of fun, and I like the fact that they'll try new things. And so I spend a lot of time with them. This is one of the seniors that I did, and she was great. We came in, we did the makeup, and we did about 4 locations. She was up for anything. We were hiking through, you know, bushes and all kinds of stuff to get, you know, to get some great shots. So I guess the thing with my seniors is I just want them to have a lot of fun. This is like one time, and we go out wherever they want to go. And I don't do a lot of in-studio shots with them, so it's mostly on location. Again, I'm not set up for that in my studio, so I just refer them if they want the cap and gown, something like that. But for the most part, I love the fact that senior portraits aren't what they used to be. That, you know, you just get that whole in studio. They can go out and kind of express themselves, and I encourage them to do that, bring their props, express their personalities, and we just have a lot of fun.
So why should a student choose a professional photographer for their senior portrait?
Well, you know, anybody can go out and take a picture and put it in the yearbook. Lots of people do. The difference is you're not going to get maybe blemishes edited out. And for me, I do the post-production, so we're brightening the eyes. We're, you know, we know the best angles as far as making you look your best. It's fun. You know, this is a one-time thing. You only have one chance to be a senior and go out and do your senior portraits. So I really like to have a lot of fun with my seniors. And when I get behind the camera, it's like I'll keep shooting. Sometimes they get, you know, they're done before I am. We'll shoot till the sun goes down if, you know, if we're having a great time and they want to keep going, because I love taking pictures. I could, So I love every aspect of it, actually, the post-production, the taking the pictures. When you order prints also, go to Walmart, say, I won't mention names, I guess, but any local place where you can get pictures done is going to be totally different than sending it to a lab. They color correct for skin tone, the quality of the paper's better. If you're not happy, they're going to replace it. But I would say the biggest thing as far as a professional photographer is you want to look your best, and we can help you do that.
In my interviews with other photographers, they've been taking pictures for 14 or more years, and they seem to be very what we call old school, where you go in there, you get your pictures taken, they get them developed and then printed, and then you look at a book and you make your decisions on which prints you want to have. But it sounds like you're much more savvy with the newer technologies. Can you explain how new technologies and social media work for you and for your business?
Sure, I would love to, because I love technology, and I use SmugMug, which is it's online. So I have my website that they host, and I can go in and they have templates, so I can do whatever I want as far as backgrounds and galleries, and they have I can have a little bit about me. So I have about me, the artist. I have about my raves, that type of thing. I have all my links, so I have links to my other wedding sites, my blogs. Blogging is really important as far as being a photographer these days. My cosmetics, we do, because I do the before and after, so I have all my galleries, including videos that you can do. I have all my pricing, so they can come here and see what my pricing is, and so everything's just laid out. I've tried to, so it's like seniors probably, because we're as far as seniors. You can go to seniors, they can come here, and I have my flyer that I have just uploaded, so they can get grooming tips, they can get exactly what my prices are, little slideshow. So that's my pricing. They can also come here as far as they just want to see my work and what I do. Go to seniors, and I have all my senior pictures, so they can come and just kind of check my work out. And it works great for me for so many things. And so this is just the website part of it, which I'm super happy with, because it was easy to do. My contact information, so they can email me, whatever. So it has all this on here, and I just think that I have information in what to wear as far as just families, because a lot of times they don't know what to wear. So they can find it all on here, or they can call me. We can have a consult. I always have consults with brides, and I always talk to my seniors a lot before. But the best part is just kind of how I use it in my business.
We have such busy lives, and it's hard to make time for things. How does the new technologies and social media help you with your business and help your clients?
Okay, so I, again, use SmugMug, and it works great for me because I am a single mom, 2 kids, run another business, and so instead of having my clients come into my studio as far as ordering, I use SmugMug. It works great for me. You can come over here and I can show you what a client would do if they sometimes do want to come in, and I help them, and that's not a problem. But these are some things that are available that my clients can order. But if they wanted to order, they have the gallery, and they would just go through and they would pick which pictures that they liked, and once they found a picture, then they would click on it, and then it would just go to the ordering process. So let's just say that she likes this picture and she wants to order that. Then she would just go to buy photos, and then we have all these different options. So she can have different, the luster, glossy, metallic. We have canvases, so she could go and order canvases. Then there's also downloads, there's merchandise. So you can get photo stickers and ceramic tiles and mugs, and there's just all kinds of things that they can order if they want. So that works out really well for me. They just, just choose what they want. Okay, so this is my back office. I can go in and create coupons for people. I don't do packages. I always hated packages. The fact that you're stuck with pictures that you don't use. So I give them instead coupons. Coupon. They can go in and they get a print credit and they can go choose whatever they want. So I can manage my coupons in here. Just make whatever I want. Okay, as far as coupons go, and change my price lists. I have my sales history. I can, manage my sales history in there. I can create packages if I want. I also can create events. And so this is what's great if I have a wedding or I have a senior that comes in and they have, say, family that's out of state, then they can have their own gallery for the weddings that people can go that are from the wedding and order their prints, and seniors can send people to their galleries as far as out of state that they can go and order. So that is more sales. I can't get people from, say, anywhere, New York, LA even, to come into my studio and take a look at, seniors' pictures or the guests that were there. But this way they have the option to go online and order them. So that works out great. So another thing that I love about Smug Mug is that they help me with branding. And branding is important. As you probably know, you recognize Nike, you recognize Coca-Cola. You want people, when they see your brand, to recognize you. So they do help as far as with the branding, and this is a sticker that they put when they ship my box. This is the thank you card that comes inside, and then this is what they see at checkout. Okay, so it's all the same thing, and I'm actually in the process of changing that right now. Just haven't done it on here yet. It's the last thing because I just actually made my brand new website. I'm kind of going in a different direction. It was all, as you can see, kind of more baby. So because of the fact I'm doing weddings now and I'm doing seniors, my branding's changed, and I can show you that on Facebook.
So looking at these before and after pictures, there's a really incredible difference. Can you tell us how you create that differences on your pictures and make them look so really good?
Well, a lot of it has to do with the makeup. They come in and I do glamour, okay, but a lot of it also has to do with post-production. I use a program called Portrait Professional, and it helps to brighten up the eyes, smooth out the skin, that type of thing. Let's see. Okay. I use Lightroom and Photoshop, but this is one that I'm working on currently. And I also run a lot of filters. I have different filters that I run for babies, especially because their skin's red. So it'd be, Carrie Myers, Take the Red Out. You can add a little retro. My favorite filters that I use are Topaz, and I have tons of Topaz filters. I can do so many different things. I have one that specifically I can use soft focus. I have one that when I'm doing brides that's specific just for brides, and a lot of times when you're shooting a wedding dress it might be a little bit blown out, so that I can go over here, and if I go into brides it kind of corrects that, auto corrects that. So I love working with filters. I love airbrushing. I love doing all that post-production work.
Your pictures have a very different feel than the other pictures that I've seen. What do you do to make them so unique?
Okay, so we've already talked about the fact that I use a lot of filters. I love using filters. I am an artist. I took every class from oil paintings, tool painting, charcoal drawing, and I really think that really helped a lot for so many things, especially as far as shadows and light. And one thing Russ says is that I see light, like a lot of people don't maybe see light. I do see light because of, I think, all my training. So one of the things that I would say as far as if you want to be a professional photographer, really get into every art form because it's going to help you. My pictures, why are they so different? Because first of all, when I take the picture afterwards, it's post-production. It's like I paint and add shadow where I want it. I add highlights maybe that weren't there before, just because I know where the light should be or what I want to accentuate, so that I have more shadow to the face if I'm not achieving that with the first picture. I do. This is something that I'm kind of having fun with. This is one that won an award for fantasy. Of course, the baby wasn't in the picture, but Ann Geddes has always been I just always loved her work. And so a lot of my baby pictures, as far as I'll show you my props here in a little bit, but are just kind of her style. I loved her style. And so this, of course, was 2 pictures put into one, and it's just something that I kind of like having fun with, just kind of playing with.
So you've talked about some of the classes you took in college and in high school. Is there any type of continuing education that you're still doing today?
School's never out for the photographer, for anyone that, as far as that goes. Continuing education, webinars, I Google everything. Every single thing that I've learned that I didn't know. Natural lighting, even studio lighting, because I feel like you need to know everything, even if you're not using it. How to make a website, posing, newborns. Done a lot of like the newborn stuff I've learned online. There's YouTube. They have videos on YouTube. I've done webinars, seminars, and read tons of books. I love reading. I love learning. And so I've always got something going on. So whether it's a book I'm reading, a webinar I'm taking, or just looking at other people's work, you can really, I think, learn a lot just from checking out other photographers' work. So I'm constantly online looking for new photographers on Facebook, Googling. Like I say, Google is my biggest friend. So anything you want to learn. Photoshop I've learned. I didn't take any classes. I know they have it. It's a 2-year class. So if I want to know how to do something in Photoshop, I just Google the effect. How do you transpose pictures? How do you dodge and burn? Whatever it is that I need to learn, I've learned.
So one of the things that I've noticed in artist studios are the number of props. It's like you collect a little bit about everything. So would you like to talk about your props?
Sure. I'm a prop addict. I absolutely love props, and that's probably why I like babies, because I can, again, kind of Ann Geddes style. I like putting them in bowls, and kind of started doing a little bit more layering with stuff. And as you can see, all over my studio, I have all kinds of props. So I have wooden bowls and greenery, and this trunk right here actually came from Lompoc High School, and Russ shellacked it, hauled it up here, and I use it all the time. One of my favorite props. I have a lot of my different backgrounds that I have. And then as far as newborn photography, this right here has been great because, a lot of times people want to put a baby on a flat surface, and the secret to a baby is you want them, that I do them usually 5 to 10 days new, and you want them kind of arched and kind of posing, so if you're never put them on a flat surface. So this kind of has been great for me. I have all kinds of different backdrops that I can, use. I love this company because it's double-sided, so I can have, this on one side and just change it out super quick and easy. And I have very little space in here, so this works really well for me, as far as having something that pulls down from the ceiling or that. So I use a lot of the backdrops and constantly adding to my props. I'm constantly looking antique stores, online, just wherever I can find them. I put them in pails. I put them in all kinds of fun stuff. So.
Okay, as we wind down the interview, can you give my students any advice that you might have for becoming a professional photographer themselves?
As far as advice, it's the same, I think, for everything. Get out and take pictures, lots and lots of pictures. Already talked about art classes. I can't stress that enough because I think that it makes you more well-rounded, and especially with post-production, knowing how to paint and shade, and that is very, very helpful. A couple of things that really helped me was a picture a day for a year. and, you know, go out wherever you are and just take a picture every single day, do post-production, try different filters, learn everything you can, whether you go to classes that they have through colleges. There's all kinds of classes online. Just always wanted to be learning. As far as probably the biggest thing that helped me is with shadows and light was just taking a simple egg, putting it on a table, and shooting it every hour throughout the day. And it really helps you to see where the shadow is, how it plays, maybe on your subject.
What are some of the challenges facing a professional photographer today?
The biggest challenge as far as facing photographers today is the fact that I love digital, it's a new art form. So happy that we have it, but anybody who has a digital camera thinks they're a professional. So you have so much more competition than you did, because before you had to get it right in the camera and you had to know all the technical stuff. Now you can see, you can adjust, and lots of people out there can take great pictures not knowing a whole lot of technical things because everything's automatic. The problem that it's caused is the fact that someone can come and say, I'm a photographer and I'm going to do your pictures for $50, and you get every single picture on a DVD. Well, that's great. They think that's great, but the problem is that they're not post-edited. Maybe they really don't know, the best lighting. I've seen some of them, and there's, shadows from trees and all this stuff. Then they take them to a local lab, and the problem with that is what we talked about before. It's inferior print. So for the longest time, I was kind of like old school, and I'm not going to sell my JPEGs. Well, everyone asks. They want to be able to put them on Facebook. So there's a couple things I do. I make Facebook covers for them for free so that they can have that. I do low resolution JPEGs that they can put on with my branding so that it's got my website. So therefore, they're happy. They get to post a picture, and I'm happy because my name's out there again using Facebook. So the way I've got around that, because I know like everybody wants to have the JPEGs, is that I do have a minimum. They have to purchase $300 worth of prints, and that can be family, them personally, whatever, so that I know that I have a professional looking canvas or print on their wall, and then they can purchase all the JPEGs they want for $5 a piece, and they can do whatever they want with them at that point. I encourage them not to go to a local lab, but once their JPEGs are in their hands, there's really not much I can do about that. But that's kind of how I've got around that, so that they can be happy and I can be happy, and it's been working for me that way.
So Kim Spies, thank you so much for your time and all of the information that you've given to me and to our students so that they can understand what it's like to be a professional photographer today.